Levels, levels, levels. We've finally worked out how many levels we're going to have in Lighthaze World. It's taken a while. It's been a bit of a process. So I'm going to devlog this out and show you how we got there. In the beginning, we had this idea of this one giant open world map. There was something similar to Link's Awakening. There would be different regions. You would find puzzle ways through the world. As soon as we had built this giant map, we realized it was too big. The idea then was to tell this story, and we would use 3 maps to represent the one giant open world. And that was fine. As we started building these 3 maps, we started obviously at level 1, and we started putting down different gates to be unlocked with puzzles, and the different biomes in each world were actually starting to become their own little levels. So we thought, instead of optimizing the game for this giant world map, how about we make these levels, these 3 levels, into 3 more levels. So our big map had turned into 9 levels, and this was going along well. We kind of had the path that we wanted the player to take. We just had to add the puzzles and make the different biomes again as 3 smaller levels. Makes sense, yeah? Then we realized how big the game was. This was turning into a massive game. Only having a few people working on it, it didn't make sense to have 9 levels. So we actually canned 1 of the 3 levels, so we were back to 6. And that level can come around Lighthaze World 2, or it might be extra content that will get added to the game later on. But at this stage, it was too big of a project, so we had to squash that before we got out of control. So then with our 6 levels, we decided that we needed to have an intro level and an outro level. So we got to 8, and that was all really good. We had our nice amount of levels. But this game is all about puzzle dungeons, and we had to add them in. Each of our 8 levels has up to 5 puzzle dungeon, and you have to work above ground and below ground to solve these puzzles in the level so you can progress through the game. We still have about half the dungeons to develop, but that's okay because they're a lot smaller in most cases than any of the above ground levels. Some of them are just a room, and some of them can be a little bit longer and a bit more thought out. But all in all, they're basically a place to house a cool puzzle. So we are starting to actually shape most of the levels now, and we're going through and adding the details and getting through with the levels. Challenging to work out how big each level was. Like, we'll take this world 1 for example, where it could take the player to run from one corner to the other corner to minute. We thought that was a good amount of time, but it's also about what's on the screens. I like it so if you come from one puzzle, you basically walk and find something else interesting by the time the screen moves the distance of the screen. Each level in my mind is different screens. So as you walk out of the screen, you walk into another screen, and then there's something interesting that you have to examine or a puzzle you have to do. And that was kind of where we got to making the levels, because there's no map to guide you around this game. This game is all about exploring the level, using the dungeons to solve puzzles, using the puzzles above ground to complete levels. A big part of the game is exploring the map and actually finding the way through the map. And that's kind of part of the puzzle. There's like a bit of a puzzle in finding your way. This isn't annoying or confusing. It's done in a way where you're trying to figure it out. Anyway, I'm going to get back to Lighthaze World, building these levels. Please subscribe so you can see more of these devlogs as the game gets closer and closer to launch, and enjoy your day.